We're getting close to our start time. Thank you all for coming. My name is Dave Randall. I'm a program manager in the Intune engineering team, and I'm joined here by Shiv. Shiv?
Hello, everyone. I'm also a program manager on Intune. I work on all things policy and security, and Dave and I work together on the entire all-up policy strategy. So glad to be here.
All right. So here's what we're going to cover, and there's both of our names. If you happen to search for us online, you'll find either of us and any of the other sessions that we've got. So what I wanted to start with and cover is our interactive activity, which was what we just talked about, a little bit of trivia. We'll talk about the practicalities of migrating from group policy to MDM. We'll talk a little bit about security baselines, because those are a really important element of this overall story of migrating from group policy to MDM, and we'll talk about why security baselines are that really critical element to help you get going. And then we'll talk about a variety of different types of policies that are managed through Microsoft Endpoint Manager. And then lastly, we'll finish up with some discussion about policy conflicts, how to troubleshoot as you make this migration from group policy to MDM. So to start out, what is policy management? It's a fairly simple question, and you probably have a variety of different answers that popped in your mind as soon as I asked that question. But really, it's first off, being able to secure your work environment for both your IT organization and the data that it's protecting, as well as for the employees. Employees need to feel that their environment is trustworthy, that the data that they're creating and the intellectual property that all of you own is secured in a way that works in whatever device they're choosing to use, whether it's a mobile device, a tablet, their desktop computer, or even their home computer as they're accessing things to do a little bit of extra work outside of work hours. Secondly, policy management is a way for you to be able to ensure employee productivity. Windows is configurable in so many different ways. You can create very customized environments for very specific single tasks, or you can create a Windows environment that looks very much like what it might be for retail, out of the box for a consumer. You've got a lot of flexibility to define what that environment looks like so that your employees are productive when they sit down and go to use that system. And you've also got a variety of different ways that you need to connect to your environment, whether it be through VPN or Wi-Fi. And so part of policy management is also configuring all of that resource access. The way in which we can do policy configuration, typically you've been using group policy. And with Intune and MDM policy, there's a variety of different tools that you now have available that are effectively in replacement of group policy so that you can achieve those different bits of security and configuration. Device configuration profiles are the primary way that you're going to set settings in Windows, but you may be using ADMX profiles. There's over 3,000 different settings in our ADMX administrative templates that allow you to configure Windows. Or maybe there's a few things that are missing. There's some gaps that I called out in the yellow. You can use custom OMA URI for configuring some of those MDM settings that aren't available natively in Intune. And as we go through time, we'll continue to fill out more of those that weren't initially supported by a native setting, and you had to do OMA URI. So how many of you have just started completely in the cloud? Like you had no on-premises infrastructure. Okay, I had one person yesterday, and I don't see anybody in the audience today. So it's not all that common, at least for most of our enterprises who have been around for a while and you've been working in IT, that you're born in the cloud. It's not a very common thing. But some new organizations that are starting up are that way, and they just simply start as a cloud-only organization. There's a lot of companies that have remote and mobile workforces, and on-premises infrastructure or cloud-only access makes it really easy for them to be on the go and not have to worry about VPNing into specific resources or accessing local file shares in a specific region. In addition, you may have seen your mobility team and your desktop team converge. And oftentimes when that convergence happens, the mobility team came from Exchange ActiveSync. And now they need to figure out new ways to work. And so sometimes they'll go knock on the desktop guy's door and say, hey, how are you doing this? and because we were all basically cloud only. And so this convergence, what it really means is that if you're cloud only, you're leaving behind a bunch of your on-premises infrastructure, servers, domain controllers, that connectivity, and you're allowing users to access from the cloud. And from a management perspective, it means that you've got a single console that you're viewing all of your mobile devices and your desktop devices from a single place. So rather than using separate tools, you've got a convergence of all of that. Now, some of you, and in fact, I think every one of you, except for my one person yesterday, are really in this state where you've got Azure AD and Active Directory joined machines. You're probably also on a multi-year migration from previous versions of Windows to Windows 10, and that can leave you in a state where you're both AD and Azure AD for some period of time. And oftentimes, you require some on-premises access to key resources. So if you find yourself in this particular position, then moving to MDM policy means that you can get rich analytics and compliance reporting. You wouldn't have necessarily had all of that rich reporting capability in group policy. You also have the ability to use conditional access to enforce access or block access to on-prem or cloud resources. And you've also got that single consolidated view of all of the devices, whether they're on-prem or in cloud. So if you want to be able to take advantage of some of those benefits that I showed on the right-hand side of those two, you need to go through some type of policy management transformation. You probably find yourself on the left-hand side of this where your policy is managed by group policy or SCCM. And through this transformation, you will end up in a place where your policy is now managed through Intune or cloud-based management, cloud-based policy delivery. And in order to get there, there's a couple of things that we're doing to help you along the way. The first one is case studies. So we've worked with a couple of large companies who have taken the better part of a year to a year and a half to do this process, to actually look at their group policies, evaluate what is supported in MDM, figure out what's not supported in MDM, write down in a very long spreadsheet all of those individual settings, what's supported, what's not, what do we have to use custom OMA URI for, and those case studies will be documented as part of the online documentation for both group policy as well as policy management in Intune to give you some real-world guidance about what exactly did those customers do successfully, what did they trip up on, what were the long poles that they didn't really anticipate. The second thing that we'll do is give you a variety of different analysis tools. We'll demonstrate one of the key analysis tools that we have available in private preview right now, but I think you'll be excited about this. But it's going to help you understand the equivalent of that big spreadsheet. We'll go do all of the settings from group policy, analyze those against what's supported in MDM, and help give you a roadmap. And then lastly, we're building as part of that policy analytics some infrastructure in our system so that we can understand exactly what group policy settings you have. And if there are ones that we don't support in Intune today, we'll be able to get a prioritized list of what things everybody is using that we're not supporting, and then we have an easy way to go identify what's most impactful to change in our system for you. So those are the three areas that will help you in the transformation from group policy to MDM. One of the things that, as we have conversations with customers, these are the types of problems that typically we face. And nod your head, raise your hand if these types of things seem familiar to you. The first one is that there's a bunch of policy settings that you had in group policy that just aren't supported in MDM. How many of you guys have ran across that? Yeah, I would imagine that once you start digging in, you're going to find a bunch of these gaps. The second is that there are some features like tattoo removal or ADMX policies or conflict resolution. Those aren't available in the same way that you've had them in group policy. Or lastly, the targeting model is completely different. So in Active Directory, you're using OUs, and you've got your machines in OUs, and you're assigning your GPOs to them, and you have no OUs in Azure Active Directory. You only have security groups. And what's worse is that the mechanism by which you define your device security groups in Azure Active Directory don't give you the flexibility that you may have had with Configuration Manager for creating a collection that's built on really rich hardware inventory or software inventory. So there's a little bit of a mismatch between those two. So what are we doing to fix it? In the case of filling the gaps, the Intune team and the Windows client team have been working together to understand at a detailed level what the settings are that are missing. And so as each of the different feature updates come out in Windows, there'll be new capabilities in CSPs, and Intune will light those up in the UI. For some of the other features that are missing, the policy analytics tool is one of the tools that will help you understand exactly where you've got group policy support and where MDM support is either there or missing. And then lastly, the case studies, as I mentioned, is the other aspect of helping you understand what a real-world customer goes through in this transformation from group policy to MDM. So what does it mean if you're really going to sit down and you're in the process of doing this migration today? Well, the first thing that I would do is I would say, this is an excellent opportunity for you to look back, because most of you have had administrators who have been managing group policy. And another good show of hands, how many of you know that you've had a group policy administrator who's no longer at your organization? They went and made a bunch of changes, and maybe they were good at documenting, maybe they weren't so good at documenting that process. And so as you go look at your group policy today, you may have no idea how many people have been in there touching it, configuring it. Maybe it was labeled test group policy object for Dave, and you don't know anything of what that means because there's a bunch of and it's actually deployed, right? The test one is deployed. So it can be really difficult for you to understand exactly where you're at. So this is a really good opportunity that I want you to take. Use the policy analytics tool, understand exactly where you sit today in terms of your group policies, and evaluate whether or not that's something that you need to continue going forward. Actually, inside Microsoft, when we were doing this, we came across Internet Explorer 4 group policy settings as we were digging through that. Great example of something that's no longer needed because internally we're not using IE4 anymore. All right, so take a look at all of those settings that are no longer relevant, figure out which ones are supported in MDM, and think about their importance, because in some cases you'll find that there's a gap and there isn't support in MDM, and you need to just make a conscious decision about how you're going to manage that. The next one is start fresh with MDM for new machines. So a lot of you, as you go through your hardware refresh cycles, how many of you guys are using Autopilot today or interested in Autopilot? Yeah. Awesome opportunity for you to completely revamp the OS deployment process for your end users. And as you do the Autopilot deployment of your devices, think about what you can do to ensure that all of the configuration policies and profiles that are going down to that device are all MDM managed. To the greatest degree possible that you can get there, the easier your success will be in ensuring that your devices are secure and your employees are productive. The next one is overlap. There's a great book that's out there on managing MDM, Windows devices with MDM, and there's a nice little section about how to deal with conflict where you've got both group policy and MDM settings on there. To the greatest degree possible, I would encourage you to not have to use that. So if you have devices that are MDM managed and they can be all MDM managed, that's ideal. Or if they're all group policy managed and they remain that way, that's ideal. Having to deal with this conflict means you've got extra debugging and troubleshooting on those devices. And so I would encourage you to do your best to avoid that. If you've got, if you're still using your OUs and security groups for doing targeting and you've got to do some mapping between those, you can use PowerShell to pretty easily get a list of all of the devices that are in your OU, and you can then create and populate a security group that contains exactly the same match. So I know a lot of these are just simply assigned devices rather than a dynamic device group, but you can use PowerShell and you can use a regular running script to go evaluate what's in your OU, make sure that that's the same that was in your security group. And what that really means is once you've done that, then you can do an inheritance block and move those devices out of the OU and target all of the, I'll cover this a little bit, target all of those devices for MDM policy so that they're no longer receiving group policy. Next, we have a tool, which I'll call the CSE tool, or CSE is client-side extensions, and that tool will help you map as a configuration service provider settings that you need to deploy that are normally client-side extensions. So one of the gaps that we have today in Intune is you can't configure configuration profile settings for client-side extensions. We don't have that. So this tool will help bridge the gap and give you a CSP that you can then configure a variety of different client-side extensions. So with that, I'll transition over to Shiv, who will talk about some of the other capabilities that we have in the service and give you some demonstration of each of those different capabilities to help you along with the migration.
Awesome, thank you, Dave. Dave did a really good job of explaining the entire migration process, some of the benefits of MDM for cloud only as well as hybrid. I'm going to go ahead and kind of take a little step back and give you best practices of how to actually go about your either your Windows 10 management or your all-up cross-plat Mac OS Android management through the Intune console. The first step is essentially we really recommend customers to go with security baselines as your first get-go, and there's a reason for that. There's tons of settings that we've worked with security experts in the industry to kind of come up with values as well as settings that we feel like will get you to 90-95% security level with your organization on Windows 10 devices. And obviously that's not going to get everyone to where they need to be, and that's kind of where we recommend fill those individual gaps with those device configuration profiles that maybe you want to have a specific setting for BitLocker encryption being different from what we recommend in our security baseline. That's kind of where we recommend our device configuration workloads, and I'll go into a demo of that in just a second, but for all the legacy settings, that's kind of where we go to our ADMX workload. And Mandy in the front, if you could just raise your hand. Mandy has a session today at 4 p.m. on using ADMX templates using Intune. And that's a really good way to get support for all those legacy Office, Windows settings that are all ADMX based, but now we have support for them in the MDM platform. And then the last part of it is we really want to make sure that once you deploy these settings, how can you make sure that all your devices and users are compliant according to what IT policy states? So you want to make sure that all your devices are encrypted. You've encrypted it, good job. But then you also want to make sure that if the device at some point goes unencrypted, that they lose access to corporate resources. And that's kind of where our device compliance workload comes in. And that's to make sure that once you've set a policy, that an end user can't go change that policy, or else they'll lose access to things like Outlook, Excel, things like that. So as I mentioned earlier, security baselines is really the starting point for all your policy configuration. Security baselines today is an aggregation of a lot of the device configuration profiles as well as ADMX profiles. Last year we announced our Windows 10 MDM baseline, and we really feel like the customers have really resonated with that. Because of the fact that they don't have to go ahead and configure each of those 200, 300 settings manually, and also come up with values that they feel like would reach their security posture. We've done the heavy lifting for you. We've really tried to give you a single baseline that you can deploy to all your machines to get into compliance. And then the next one that we deployed is for any customers that use Windows Defender ATP or would like to use Defender ATP. Cool. So we've actually come up with a baseline, and we partner with the ATP team to kind of figure out what their recommendations are for security configuration. And then on top of that, we've also extended that within our device compliance to be like, okay, if this device reaches a certain risk level, revoke access from corporate resources. So you can see where our strategy is with working with the Windows Defender ATP team, not with our just security baselines, but also across device compliance and our onboarding process for that. The next one is the ADMX backed baselines. I'll show you in a quick demo of how we've gone about creating an ADMX-based baseline, essentially. So as you guys are aware, Edge, Office, a lot of those are ADMX-backed policies. We've actually been able to ingest those into our security baselines infrastructure to give you a baseline to secure all those applications and platforms as well. And then where we're trying to go to. At the end of the presentation, we'll really give you a what's next for us, what we're really working on the Intune side. But some of it is we've heard customers loud and clear. They want to be able to come up with their own baselines and deploy it to all their tenants. If you're a consultant, you can have a single baseline and be able to import and export them into all your different tenants. That way, you made it really easy to deploy those baselines, not just from recommendations that Microsoft has recommended. And then intelligent suggestions on recommended baselines. Really, if you have deviated from what the baseline is, we want to be able to tell you that this is kind of where the rest of your industry is going. You're in the healthcare industry. We want to tell you that most of the healthcare industry uses this kind of baseline. How can you get compliant to that? So that's something we want to get to at some point, and that's something we'll be working with elite customers to kind of handhold to get there. But in just a second, I'll show you a demo of our security baselines infrastructure, as well as what our new endpoint security management looks like. Dave, I need you for a second.
Oh.
There we go. Okay, so as you guys heard Brad's announcement on Monday, now we're rebranded between SCCM and Intune as Microsoft Endpoint Manager. So starting the next sprint, you'll see the Endpoint Manager essentially across the entire platform. If I expand the left nav, you've seen it's gotten significantly simpler, and that's really, we're hearing the feedback that we want to make it as simple as possible for you guys to use and deploy Intune. So if I go into the endpoint security node, you'll see that there's tons and tons of things here, right? There's security baselines, which I mentioned is pre-configured settings that help you apply a known group of settings that are recommended by Microsoft security professionals. There's also security tasks, which I mentioned earlier on the Windows Defender ATP front. It's really that tight integration between Intune and Windows Defender ATP that we're trying to do, where the SEC admin gets to notice a known vulnerability. They send that over to Intune, and Intune has the ability to kind of do a remediation on that. And if you guys are interested in that, I can also show that. And then the last piece is really integrating WDATP across your entire product for Mac OS onboarding to Windows OS Windows onboarding. I'll go ahead and show you what the Windows security baseline looks like. So today we have the MDM security baseline, the Windows Defender ATP, and then in preview we have the Edge, and what we're working on for the future is the Office baseline. And we really feel like that's going to help customers really get to securing their entire Office across the entire O365 suite. But today I'll go over and show you, what the MDM security baseline looks like. So within the provisioning here, I can say Win10 baseline. And as soon as I hit next, you'll see that there's tons of configuration values that I see here. Some of them being, app runtime or BitLocker, for example. They have tons of recommended settings that are by security professionals, and all you have to do is go ahead and press next, and then assign it to a selected group or all users' devices or a subset of those. And that's really where we're trying to get at is we built a configuration profile. We want you to go deploy it. All you have to do is figure out what groups to target it to. That's on that front, and then we can actually go ahead, and I want to show you guys a little bit more of the endpoint security node. And as you can see, there's things like firewall or disk encryption, and we want to take a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the cross-plat story for you guys. We want to be able to build a policy regardless of what the OS is. And as you can see here, you're able to create a BitLocker policy, a file vault policy. I'll go ahead here and show you just a BitLocker policy. And you actually get the ability to choose each and every single one of these settings. And this is without recommendations. This is straight up just, you have the policy, you guys can do the configuration for your end users. Okay, and then the last piece of this is I really wanted to go ahead and show you guys, we'll go with Mac OS for now, but I wanted to show you guys the ability to create a configuration profile from scratch without using security baselines, without using our endpoint security node. You actually get the ability, and if you were to create a device configuration profile from scratch, you actually get the ability to select what platform you want to create it for. I've went into the Mac OS because I wanted to show you guys what we have for that. But you can see we're expanding our profile types from device features to restrictions you want to set on devices to even endpoint protection. You get the ability to set things on gatekeeper, firewall, file vault, and you even get the ability to escrow your key and choose how often the personal key gets rotated on your machines. So I think that's some cool stuff. I will show you real quick. Okay, let's transition back to the slide. Okay, so I went through the demo for policy configuration. Now I'm going to tell you how we can act, or what we're doing behind the scenes to help you guys get to the state that Dave mentioned earlier of the modern policy management through Intune. And the first thing is really that CSE tool, the client-side extension. And it's essentially provides CSP support for all those legacy registry and audit-based settings. And we want to expand that if you guys feel like that's a very, very useful product or tool for you guys. And then the next piece of it is really the policy analytics. And that's something I've been working on for the past year, just to make sure that we can kind of get customers off of group policy to see how they have management support in the modern MDM stack. And our VNext would be things like migration, annotation, so you guys can see, use it as a workspace to figure out what your transition and what your plan looks like to use the MDM stack. So what is the client-side extension? Essentially our goal from this is just to provide a supported CSP that allows you to easily set policies in Intune for legacy settings that don't have CSP support. And that's something that we've been working on with an ETA of early next year, and we really want you guys to look out for that in your Intune console. The next is how are we doing it? We're really it's essentially an installable Windows app that reads CSP-based settings and then sets CSEs in Windows. What else is about this entire CSE thing is that it really helps simplify the transformation to MDM. We're not asking you to go script something yourself. We're really giving you an inbuilt experience, a native experience, to configure these settings that you wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. And then the last piece of it is really what are we scoping out for the initial piece of this, and it's really this registry-based settings, which customers have told us they really need support for if they want to use the powerful capabilities of MDM. And then things like map drives as well as audit settings. And those are things that we really want you to go try and give us feedback on and see how that helps you in your transition. The next thing is policy analytics, and I will transition back to demos. So how many customers, I don't know if Dave asked this, how many customers in the audience actually use group policy today? Wow, okay, all right. Well,
everybody? Everybody?
Okay, well, something, as we've mentioned, something we're working on is policy analytics, and we really think it's a good starting point. We're trying to get from customers that use GPMC or the Group Policy Management Console to run a backup of your group policies. That'll spit out an XML. We can upload that into the Intune service, and the Intune service will do the analysis for you and understand what your MDM support is, and also tell you if these GPs have been targeted in your previously, as well as when they were imported and things like that. So I'll just give you a quick demo of how we import them. Give me a second. So I have two GPs here, but essentially I want to get to the point of we want you to upload your group policies, not just the ones that I have in my demo tenant. But essentially you have the ability to go ahead and see, okay, well this group policy that I have here doesn't really have any settings in the profile, so I can actually go ahead and delete that. There's really no point. We want this to be a workspace for you in your transition to MDM. As well as you notice that here there's a field for target and AD, and if the group policy wasn't targeted in AD, likely it won't be targeted in Azure Active Directory or in the Intune space. So if you want to go ahead and delete those, you can go do that as well. But then I'll actually go ahead and dive deeper into what these settings actually look like. So you can see with, for example, this one in security settings. I'll actually zoom closer. So you can see, ooh, whoa. That was something that Dave showed me right before this, so just playing around. So you can see that some of the things that we have here are like what settings are configured in group policy, whether we have MDM support for it or not, and what CSPs they correlate with. So how can you go ahead and set them, as well as what OS version that the policy is actually applicable on. So you can go ahead and apply that if you wanted to. And then we also take in the values from the group policies that we really feel like might help you in this transition. And then lastly is the CSP mapping. And we really think that that's going to be an important piece of this because you're going to find that customers obviously are trying to do that transition of how can I go from what I have in group policy to what is supported in the MDM space via CSP. And CSP is a very lightweight way to do things. So you can see it's kind of just like an API. You have a specific CSP mapping. You can make a call to a get, set, replace, things like that. And then where we want to go with this is we really want to give you the ability to go ahead and select which settings you actually want to go ahead and migrate. And what we'll do is kind of the same way how we did security baselines is we actually get the ability to create a profile that has all the group policy settings that you've imported. And then all you have to do is kind of how Dave mentioned of mapping your OUs to your AAD security groups. And all you have to do is once you do the mapping, you could just target that profile to that group. And to give you another call out, this policy analytics is in private preview at the moment. So if any customers are interested in trying it out, just to see what that analysis looks like, feel free to reach out to us at the end of the session, and we can get you flighted for that. Cool. I will transition it back to Dave on the policy conflicts and troubleshooting.
All right. Thanks a lot, Shiv. So just a show of hands, does the policy analytics tool look like it's a great place for you to get started? Okay.
Nice.
One of the things that Shiv mentioned was the creation of a configuration profile for each one of those settings. And that's one of the things that you've got a great lay of the land, so you can go evaluate where you've got your IE4 settings, you can figure those out, and you can understand which ones you want to leave behind, which ones you want to carry forward. But the automation piece behind not just giving you the visibility, but also giving you the ability to create your configuration profile, we'll map that automatically to each of the different profile types. So if you look in Intune today, you've got like an endpoint security, you've got Wi-Fi, you've got email, you have all these different configuration types. We'll map that out to each of the individual configuration settings that they belong in and give you a single profile that you can then go deploy. The other thing that we decided would be important is to carry over all of the values that you had set in group policy. So not only are you creating a configuration profile with the specific settings that are all consolidated, but we'll carry those values so you don't have to go recreate and update any of those settings. We'll carry all of those forward for you. So it really is intended to be a migration tool that will help you take your existing group policy settings, clean out all of the ones that you want to ensure that you're deploying to your security groups, and we'll help you with that transition and doing the migration. If you've got other ideas of how you would like to use that, please use the in-console feedback tool and let us know, or use user voice and let us know exactly how you think the policy analytics tool can work best for you. Because this is our first foray into this particular aspect of the GP to MDM migration, and we want to make it useful for you as you go through that transition. So in terms of the reality and some of the difficulties that you might run into as you're doing this transition, you've probably had a chance to read most of the slide as I've been talking. So there are some devices that you're going to leave in group policy forever, and that's okay. It really is okay. There's places where either you've got legacy applications or there are no ADMX, there's no ADMX support, or maybe for whatever reason you just need to leave them there, and that's fine. So you may end up finding yourself with one foot in both sides of the GP and MDM policy camp. When you're doing that transition, make sure that you think about how you simplify what it is that you're managing. And I think we covered the security baseline and the baselines as the first step in ensuring that you're thinking about this holistically from a security and a productivity perspective, and you're using our recommended best practices. In fact, the security baselines were developed by Microsoft working with government agencies around the world to come up with the set of best practices for securing your workstation. So it's a great place for you to get started. I mentioned earlier about blocking inheritance, where you take an OU, you block inheritance, and you move your devices into that, and that will prevent your group policy from getting down. That's a good opportunity for then you to make sure that you don't have any group policy. So do your due diligence and ensure that you don't have any settings that are remaining on those devices. Tattoo removal, I realize, is probably something you're going to have to spend a little bit of time and maybe do some manual hand-holding on that, which is also a call out to start your devices new, fresh in MDM. And then, let's see, deploy your policies in MDM to Azure Active Security Group, verify your settings once they're over in MDM, and ensure that your new systems are MDM based. So the next thing is a little bit about future roadmaps. So things that I would like and Shiv would like for you to look forward to. One of them is configuration, the configuration profile administrative experience. How many of you guys have lost a little bit of hair, maybe not as much as I've lost, in trying to go create configuration profiles as you're going through all of those different settings? Does it seem fairly complicated and like overly complicated? We realize that, and so we're in the process of rebuilding the entire configuration profile creation experience so that it makes a lot more sense and allows you to create single configuration profiles that have all of the settings for a single deployment. And in fact, if you take a look at policy sets today, you'll see very much that that capability is now starting to light up in the console. So you can create multiple configuration profiles, group them all together, and send them out as one deployment. Now that's not all that we want to do. We want to make the base configuration profile editing experience better as well. We'll make some updates to policy analytics as I ask for your input as well. We've got a bunch of things on our backlog that we want to do for improving the policy analytics tool, including a lot of pieces of the automation, so that not only do you get the rich reporting, but you've got that workspace where you can decide what you want to carry forward and what you want to leave behind, and then let the system handle that for you. Edge and Office security baselines. Shiv mentioned earlier that we're working on, that we have the Edge and Office security baselines that have been made available as of Ignite. And we also want to provide you with the ability to create your own custom baselines so that you can store that and deploy those out for your organization. Or in the case you're a managed service provider, that's a great opportunity for you to create a standard baseline that you deploy to each of your customers. And then lastly, industry standard baselines. How many of you guys are in healthcare industry? Got a good number of people in healthcare. How many of you are reliant on the CIS baselines for your security? I know that there's a few of you in here, and I know that industry-based security baselines are something that we don't have right now. We've got the Microsoft recommended ones, but those industry-based security baselines are usually what your security team will come back to you and say, hey, if you're compliant with CIS, you're good to go. If you're not, prove to me somehow that you've got all of the configuration and all of the settings to meet the CIS baseline. So we're working with CIS, and for HIPAA compliance, we're working to build those baselines in Intune so that you just have the ability to select them, deploy them out. All your devices are configured according to those industry standard baselines. And then you can, again, measure your compliance against those baselines to do remediation. And if any of the devices are drifting, you'll be able to remediate them back so that they remain compliant. All right. So with that, with a little bit of a peek into the future, I'm at the end of our session. I think we've got a little bit of time left for questions. I know that I and Shiv are the last ones between you and your lunch. I want to offer you the ability to maybe sneak in a little bit ahead of time to make sure that you're at the beginning of the line for your lunch. Lastly, I'd like to say I would love your evaluations on the session. Shiv and I go through each and every one of those in detail, and we'll use that to improve what we give to you next year. Thanks so much for your time.